A very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Sean and I'm here to present to you our business case titled, What Challenges Must Students Overcome to Complete Their College Studies? This is the table of contents that we'll be running through today. We'll start off with the business case identified, followed by the problems faced by students, and ending off with the solutions proposed. The goal of our client's organization is to help students to persevere through their degree completion. So what we want to know is the challenges that students are facing and how it has impacted them over the years. Next, I'll pass my time over to Hong Kai, who will be running through more in depth of the challenges that students face.
One of the main challenges college students must overcome relates to their academics. We explore different areas of academics and discover insights as to what challenges or issues students have to take note of when going through college. First, using the Attend dataset in the Woodridge package, we came up with our linear regression model with dependent variable being GPA of the current term and independent variables being your cumulative GPA, class attendance, and percentage of homework turn-in. Result shows that our independent variables and model are statistically insignificant at the 1% level, with p-values much lower, close to 0. As such, looking at the beta coefficient, we can confidently conclude that cumulative GPA, attendance, and homework percentage are positively correlated to your term GPA. In view of the current uncertain pandemic, we should analyze the impact of COVID-19 on pre-college students as shown. 38% of students have experienced changes in their content and format of classes, while a further 18% are uncertain about how their classes will change in the future. Their usual classes will be disrupted, and thus it will be a challenge for these college students to adopt new ways of learning online. Being at home the whole day also calls for self-discipline and time management for them to stay on top of their studies and be consistent, which is key in going through college. Procrastination will be an even bigger issue then. Moving on, I'll be passing the time to Denise, who will dive deeper into the issue of procrastination.
Thank you, Hong Kai. So under academics, let's focus on procrastination. Based on a 2007 study, it has found that 80 to 95% of college students engage in procrastination. This shows that procrastination is an extremely prevalent problem faced by students. If this problem is not solved, it can result in higher university dropouts due to the detrimental effects of procrastination, which I will elaborate more about in the later slides. The first effect is that procrastination lowers students' grades. In 2014, a research conducted by Warwick Business School investigated first-year students and third-year students' end-of-term assignments for 2 marketing modules. From the graph, you can see that those who had 24 hours left and those who had 1 minute had a difference in 5% of their grades. Second effect is that procrastination harms students' health. According to research to study procrastination, in a sample of the German population, it was found that procrastination causes more stress, followed by depression. As the perceived stress scale PSS has the highest positive correlation of 0.39, which is 39%, followed by Patient Health Questionnaire Depression Module PHQ, which has a positive correlation of 0.36, which is 36%. So now I'll be passing on my time to Manasi.
Thank you, Denise. Several researchers have linked financial stress and anxiety with college student debt. Here we wish to explore more on what factors are responsible for this type of stress and how they affect the student's well-being. When asked about the kind of financial problems that they face, typically education expenses such as scholarship uncertainty or future financial aid, loan payments, other life expenses such as food are found to be the potential factors for stress. Research paper by Ohio State University showed that financial stress is a considerate problem for the majority of the students in university. Out of all the IDs mentioned under the variable table, these 4 marked in red are the most significant ones. The study identified that financial stressors greatly increase the odds that a student will report financial stress. Demographic characters have been identified to have a significant effect. It is also seen that students with higher GPA have been seen to less likely report financial stress. Lastly, the remaining factors of self-concept as seen on the picture are seem to have a positive correlation. With COVID-19 disrupting almost all of our lives, a lot of people have been affected adversely. From the table, we can see that about 18% of the people aren't able to go to college because of affordability. Furthermore, chances of going to college has reduced by more than twice the number as the year before for the people in the income bracket of within or less than $75,000. I would like to pass my time to Kaisi.
Thank you, Manshi. Research has shown that college students with depression are twice as likely as their classmates to drop out of school. This data set reported by college students in Japan enable us to realize how severe the depression has been in the campus. This data set contains 268 records, and through central limit theorem, we can know that the sampling distribution of this data set becomes close to a normal distribution. First, our team claimed that more than 30% of college students have depression symptoms, and through hypothesis testing at a 10% significance level, we conclude that more than 30% of the college students' population struggle with depression. Second, the probability that a college student suffering from depression also has the suicide ideation is 0.42. Third, we have 95% confidence that between 90% and 29% of the student population tend to solve their emotional difficulty by themselves rather than seek help from other people. Fourth, students with higher acculturative stress are more likely to have more severe depression, and the lack of social connectedness exacerbates mental health issues. Fifth, from this box plot, we can infer that the risk of suffering from mental problems is greater in international students because international students' acculturation stress is much higher than domestic students. Lastly, domestic and international college students share a relatively same level of social connectedness. Now, I will pass the time to Sean, who is going to present the solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saisi. So to deal with these problems that we have raised, we have come up with a three-pronged approach to deal with these problems. First and foremost, a time management module. A compulsory graded time management modules for all year ones to take to kick their bad studying habits. And we also aim to teach students time management and stress management strategies. So to ensure that students actually apply what they have learned, we are proposing to have a graded logbook for students to keep track of their procrastination, time management, and stress management habits. Next, a financial literacy module. During this financial literacy module, students should be made aware of how they can manage their finances efficiently. They also should be educated and made aware of how stress due to financial problems can adversely affect the CGPA and the results. We also aim to emphasize the importance and advantages of not being stressed due to financial problems. Lastly, to have a workshop about mental health. What we're proposing is for the school to conduct a free depression test or maybe an external tester, especially for international students to identify students with mental health concerns. We also aim to make students aware of the accessibility and counseling services and mental health support that the school can actually provide. And finally, during this workshop, we aim to introduce signs of mental illness and ways to cope with depression. This way, everyone can look out for their fellow friends and classmates. And through these three solutions proposed, we believe that it will help deal with the problems that we have discovered. And with that, we end our presentation, and thank you for your time.